Campus Connection here on Love 101. We want to say a thank you for tuning with us for another Tuesday right here at 5:30 p.m. each week. Scholars, teachers, and even principals too, we are right here for you to connect with you and to hear from you. I am Floyd Wilson, and I will be one of your co-hosts for today's program. And I just want to say to everyone who is listening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Every Tuesday, of a new week, it's a time for something new. There's always something new taking place here on Campus Connection. And here we are going to be uncovering some of the things that are happening with our students, with our teachers, with our schools, and the ministry. Well, let's see what's to come today inside Campus Connection. Today we'll be having the Bread of Life, and that will be brought to us by Ashley Nelson. She'll be giving us the Bread of Life today. And we have our education news, and that's brought to us by our partner for the month of March. That's Javon Thomas. He's a bachelor's degree student, graduate rather, from the Northern Caribbean University, NCU. And we have campus tunes. Oh yeah, we got a brand new tune for you this week. Definitely want to stick around to hear what's going to happen, what's going to be jamming in our campus tune segment. And we also be having our Let's Talk About It segment, and it's all about job hunting. It's all about job hunting today inside Campus Connection, the resume and the interview. So all of our campusites right now who are, just leaving college and, you are looking at job, you definitely want to join us today. We're going to be having a chit chat with the interview coach herself, Shamanique Hines, as well as the CEO at Elevate Services, Shanique Richards. So we want as many young people as possible to join in right now, because we know that young people are trying their best to make ends meet. And one of the things that young people are doing, even in the midst of COVID, they are trying to find a job. And we know that that can be a bit strenuous. And especially it's hard right now because, unemployment is rising. Some companies have had to lay off different persons. So we want to hear from these interview job hunting experts about how they can help the campusites to really secure that job in the midst of this crisis. It's going to be a great program. It's going to be an interesting program as usual. So tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a family member right now to tune into Campus Connection. We are going to be talking about job hunting, the interview, and the resumes. You definitely want to hear about that. So you can connect with us right here on Campus Connection via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125, or you can call us using our studio lines 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can call us later on the program and you can definitely join in on the discussion. We're also live on Facebook, and it's all about job hunting. So, you can definitely, if you want to hear more, stick and stay with us right here on Love 101. We're going to take a break right back. We'll be back right back after these messages. That's right.
The top 10 schools are in! BIP is almost ready to give away $1 million to one lucky school, but we still need your help. Download the BIP app and subscribe to the BIP to Win for your school channel to see our top 10 schools. Then click on the video of your favorite school to cast your vote. Get your schoolmates and friends involved too. The more votes, the better your favorite school's chance of winning $1 million. Download the BIP app today. BIP, simply more messaging.
Yes, foods of our yes, foods of the day. Get the taste around the place and the best food never taste without apology.
Move with grace to win a Toyota RAV4 with 1 year free insurance from DK Insurance plus your share of $9 million. See press and social media for details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
As more and more people stay in, you need to bring your business to your customers. And Sagicor Bank makes that easier with Swipe. Equip your delivery staff with the Sagicor Bank Swipe Terminal and accept debit and credit card payments almost anywhere. Apply online for Swipe today at sagicor.com. Sagicor Bank, helping you change the way you do business with Swipe, supporting growth, supporting Jamaica.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is inviting all licensed customs brokers to its Triple C Virtual Forum for Brokers Only, Wednesday, March 17, 2021, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, under the theme Trade and Tariff Matters. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Customs brokers, this forum is designed especially for you. So click, connect, and converse with Customs. Jamaica Customs, keeping our brokers in focus.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from C&WJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Where the student them see we are. Where the student see we are. I want a one campus. We are carry the land one campus. Come on, everyone.
Hey, welcome back. Your Inside Campus Connection right here on Love 101 FM. I'm Floyd Wilson, and I will be your host for this evening. My co-host will be joining me shortly, I hope. So right now we are going to be going into our Bread of Life, and our Bread of Life is where a student will share with us from the Word of God. And today we have Ashley Nelson, and Ashley Nelson is a member of the Worship and Faith International Fellowship, and she'll be sharing with us today in our Bread of Life segment. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Go right ahead, Ashley, and share.
Okay, awesome. The scripture reading will be taken from Matthew 22, verse 37. And it reads, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. My encouragement for today is that we have to love God with everything on the inside of us. We have to learn how to put Him first in everything that we do. Not just to love Him, not just to love Him with our words, but love Him with our action. Love Him with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. And that looks like our daily life. How do you start your day? Do you put God first in your day? Do you make Him number one in everything that you do? Do you honor Him through your lifestyle daily? Because these are the things that will show your love for Him. And to truly love Him is to honor Him in everything that we do. And to love God and to love others, these are the greatest commands as said in the Word. To love Him with everything on the inside of us is really His Word. And so I would encourage everyone today to love God. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. Love Him with your action, with how you treat people, with how you honor Him. Is He the first person you honor when you wake up? Is He the first person that you go to about things that are happening in your life? Because if He is your lover, and if you are in love with Him, then that shows in every single thing that you do. And not to be religious about the love. Be intimate with Him. When I said don't be religious, I'm really saying don't do things because someone told you to do it from a place of understanding who He is and knowing who He is, so you genuinely want to please Him because you know Him. So, get to know Him and get to love Him. That's all. Amen.
Hey, Ashley, I love it. You sound like you could really, go on. You sound like a preacher, Ashley. Are you a preacher?
I preach sometimes at my church, yes.
Amen. Bless the Lord. You did your church and yourself proud. You did a great job, and I really love your points that you made. Focus on loving God not only with our words but with our deeds, actions. Love Him in regards to our decisions. Honor Him, with our lives. And not. I like the mantra what you said. To love God and love others. I think that's a nice T-shirt. I can give you that idea. All right.
Amen. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing with us in our Bread of Life segment. That was Ashley there from Ashley Nelson there from the Worship and Faith International Fellowship Church, share with us in our Bread of Life segment. Really appreciate you. It's now time for education news. And the education news is brought to us by our student partner for the month of March. That's Javon Thomas. And as I said earlier, he's a graduate from the Northern Caribbean University with a bachelor's degree in communication studies with emphasis in radio broadcasting. Hey, Javon, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
All right, Javon. Go right ahead and share education news today.
All right. Welcome to Education News here inside Campus Connection. I'm Javon Thomas. Jamaica Teachers Association President Jasford Gabriel says the organization is not in support of a recommendation by Education Minister Favour Williams to extend the school year for grade 6 students beyond the normal holiday period this summer. According to Gabriel, the association is not pleased with the ministry's decision, which he said was taken without consulting the teachers. Gabriel said at the regular monthly meeting of the Teachers Union and the ministry that the matter of the extension of the school year was never mentioned. He said that from as far back as January of this year, the JTA made a case for diagnostic testing prior to the primary profile exit exams. He also stated that the issue is not with the diagnostic test, but with the timing of the sitting, as in any case, teachers have already made plans and are especially looking forward to this summer break. Sam Sharp Teachers College in Montego Bay, St. James, in collaboration with the Mountains Club of Montego Bay Freeport, has launched its Learning Disabilities Awareness Program. This is geared towards increasing awareness, diagnosis, and the treatment of children living with disabilities in St. James and neighboring parishes. The program will target 40 students facing academic difficulties and behavioral problems. From this group of 40 students who will undergo psychoeducational assessment, 20 students will participate in group behavioral modification sessions, while the parents of these children will receive parent training to learn principles of behavior management. And that's all the news we have for you today here inside Education News. Be sure to tune in next week for more news updates. I'm Javon Thomas.
Hey, so there you have it. Our education news was brought to us today by Javon Thomas, who is our student partner inside Education News for the month of March. Join us next week for another episode of Education News, where we give an update on what's happening in our education industry. It's now time for our campus tune. That's what my co-host would say, and I'm trying to impersonate him, but he'll do a better job when he comes on board. Well, I see him online right now. Pastor Sam, what's the campus tune for today?
Hey, my brother, campus tunes is ringing out. Listen to this campus tune this week. It's from John Mark Wigan, Lover Like This.
Real simple melody I want to teach you guys. God gave it to me and it did a lot for me. It goes like this. Tip, tip, do, 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 do. Yeah. Tip, tip, do, 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 do. Ah, you should know about a lover like this. That's what it means. You should know about a lover like this. Search for love in all the worst places you'll find. It's too temporary, not enough. So many promised you forever, but it's kind of a lie, and it's a bluff. Oh, you're spending so much time in mirrors, think you're lacking. Your self-esteem is going down. You're sinking deeper into darkness, lost your passion. No one to take you off the ground. Who came down, put you up on your 2 feet, life laid down, so you can rise again indeed. Who came down, yes, whose life laid down, yes, Lord. Do, 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 do. You remember that? Have me singing, yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah, yeah. You should know about a lover like this. Oh yes, yeah. You should know about a lover like me. Yes, yeah. You should know about a lover like this. You should know about a lover like this. From the other side of all the lies where I'm
That's right. It's time to go. The resume, the interview, all kinds of things surrounding job hunting. Be right back in a few.
I think we're gonna stay right now. We're gonna take the break later on in the program. So we have our guests online with us. So we are going to take these wonderful experts at this time. We're talking about job hunting. How and where to look, the resume, the interview, and more. And we have some experts online with us, and we definitely want to hear from them. What information they have to give our campus sites about how to go about landing that job. So we have the interview coach herself, Shamanique Hines. Hi, Shamanique. Welcome to Campus Connection.
Thank you for having me. I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing me clearly. You guys are hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Are you hearing us clearly? Are you hearing us?
I am. Thank you so much for
great.
having me. I see that my colleague is here, Shanice. How are you doing?
Hey, Sharmini.
Yes. I see this is a hookup, this is a link up, because we have the CEO at Elevate Services, Shanique Richards, also online with us, and they'll be both talking with us a little bit about, this whole topic about job hunting. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Floyd.
It's great having you. And with me is my co-host is with me, Reverend Stevenson Samuels himself. I know he's going to be chiming in. He has some questions for you guys. But let me start off with you, Shamanique, our interview coach expert. Tell me, what is an interview coach? I think I need one of those persons. I'm late to the game. Tell me, what does an interview coach do?
Well, basically, what I do is I train persons and ensure that when they enter the interview, they are successful and ensure that they are ready for the interview process. I also help persons with their resumes and their application letter, show them exactly what is supposed to go on their resume, what is not supposed to go on their resume, how to really access the interview space, how the interview process is done, and how to follow up after that process. Because a lot of persons score interviews, but you do find out that they don't get the job after, and that is a big problem because they don't follow a particular process. So I ensure that I train this person. Myself and Shanique does the same thing, so we try our best to really be the experts in the field to help person land the job that they desire.
When I think about an interview coach, Rev, I think about somebody telling me to run some laps and to do 10 push-ups, So I'm just wondering, what does Shamanique do? What do you do, Shamanique, as an interview coach? How many letters do you tell them to write? How do you go about coaching them?
Well, for me personally, I normally invite them to a session. It's normally like an hour and a half. And I ask them the same questions that they are likely to be asked in the interview. And then I see how they articulate the questions, and then I help them to answer those questions. Now, for example, a lot of persons have problems with tell me about yourself question. You find that they fumble when interviewers ask them that simple question. Many persons always get in depth and go into some personal details like their marital status, how many kids they have, and that's a big no-no. And we always tell person that when you're answering simple questions like that, you just want to start off with the recent position that you're in, and you want to ensure that you're scoping or you're matching it back to the company or the position that you're applying for. Talk about past work experiences and link it back to the job that you're applying for. So it's a simple process. I coach persons on how to answer the questions, how to articulate themselves in the interviews, what to wear, what to say, the body language, how you want to tailor yourself properly for the interview. So that is mainly what I do.
Boy, Rev, I feel like I'm being coached right now. You know, I like it. I like it. You have a question for the Rev?
I'm actually getting a free session right now. I don't need any more coaching apart from this. But this is very good. This is very good. And I'm sure that even having this, hearing this on radio, Love 101, not on any other radio station, just Love 101. This is coming on. And just hearing it, you know, I get the feeling that there is even more details that we can learn. Not only from Shamini, but also from Shanique. And Shanique, I see here that you are responsible for Elevate Services. Elevate Services. Well, maybe you can tell us a little about yourself, then you know, about this Elevate. Why Elevate Services, and how is your service different from the interview coaching done by Shamini?
All right. Thank you for having me once again. So Elevate Services is a platform that helps job seekers navigate the job search. So pretty similar to Charmonique, but we specialize in resume writing. So I'm a professional certified resume writer. So I help people put their resume together in a way that it's seen. I also do interview coaching. As part of Elevate Services, also we do salary negotiation. So that's a big part that people always miss out on, is negotiating their salary. They usually just take whatever they get. So I help my clients write the resume, land the interview, and then negotiate the salary.
Well, that means that I need to have a conversation with you around salary negotiations with the radio station.
I'll give you my WhatsApp number.
you know the one fly, the one joining with me, the Fred.
No, I'm right there. I'm signing up right now. But it's all good. It's all good.
But you're listening to the greatest radio station in Jamaica. It's Love 101. And as you know, this is the family station. And so in the family are persons who are interested in the whole business of job hunting. Shanique, what's the status of unemployment in Jamaica right now, based on your own, you know, whether it is anecdotal or statistical? I'm open to any response you would have for me at this time.
So there are a lot of people who are unemployed, and we saw an article come out the other day. I think it was 100 and something plus thousand people who lost their job. And COVID, again, companies are still laying people off, but companies are still hiring. So there's this misconception that people think that, you know, there's no jobs. I get clients every single day applying and getting offers. So yes, the unemployment rate is high, but companies are still hiring. It just means that now job seekers have to go the extra mile to stand out in the job search. So they're still hiring. It's just about standing out and showing your value to these companies.
Okay.
Yeah. Floyd.
No, definitely. I like to hear that. Maybe I want to ask Shamini now, in terms of persons actually reaching out to coaches and like yourself and Shanique, you know, what's been the response of, you know, persons, you know, seeking to get help with their interviews?
Well, for me personally, my success rate has been very good. I can really vouch and say that it has been going good because I pride myself in ensuring that when I coach persons, they are coached properly. So when they go in the interview space, they can be able to perform at the highest level. And I always tell persons, an interview is a two-way street. So when you go in an interview, ensure that you're asking questions also. The interviewer is not supposed to be the only one asking questions. You want to ensure, if you want to walk with your little notepad, walk with it and ask questions about the company culture, ask questions about the work that you're going into. You want to ensure, because at the same time, when you get this job or when you go in that workspace, you want to ensure that you're able to be productive. You want to ensure that you're able to be getting growth in some aspect. You want to ensure that you're able to perform at the highest level. So ask questions, do your company research, and ensure that you are performing at the highest level, because interviewers always look forward to that. They want to see that you do your background check and they do your company research. Ask your questions always. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I know that you don't want to tell us the success rate, but I take that it is quite high. You know.
It is. It has been good. It has been really good. And when I just started out, funny enough, I started out doing resumes. Like Shanique, my focus was big on resumes, but I realized that there was a pain point in the industry. So even though your resume can be impeccable and you get the call for an interview, you find out that many persons are not scoring the job. They're not getting a call back. So what could the problem be? So I did my research and I found out that a lot of persons are not going into the interview and saying what they're supposed to say. They're not performing properly. They're not following up with the interviewers. That's the next big thing. They're not sending thank you emails. They're not following up after probably the period of time that they're given to follow up after. Simple things that they should do, you find out a lot of persons are not doing. So, hey, you might have the highest qualifications, you might be the right candidate, but at the same time, you have to understand communication is key. You have to follow up with persons. Employers and you have recruiters, they are very busy persons. They get over 1,000 applications daily. They can't just skim through yours alone. So you have to ensure that you put your best foot forward, ensure that you're on top. If you have to call, what is the status of my application and my resume? You want to ensure that you're checking. Make sure that they see that you're putting the extra effort. So that gives you an edge.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Rev, what I like about what Shamani just said is that it seems like she really, did her research, found out where the gaps are, and it seems like she was really thinking like an employer and kind of finding out where these interviewers were going wrong, and she's kind of really helping them out to kind of stop that gap as they prepare for the interview.
Yeah, that's a very powerful thing. Want to ask Shanique another question, but before we do that, it could be time for us to take a break. What do you say about that, Floyd? I think it's a great time.
We're going to take a break for our time signal right now.
That's right.
This is 6 o'clock.
All right, so it's 6 o'clock. We are
Hey, where the student them we are.
That's right. Where the student them we are. We are right
We're
here
back,
on Campus Connection. And we want you to know that this really is Campus Connection. And you are here online with me and my co-host, Floyd Wilson. And we have two beautiful ladies with us in this chat today, Shanique Richards and Sharmonique Hines. Two wonderful ladies who are telling us about their engagement with the persons who are seeking jobs. And Shanique, you were telling us that jobs are available. And, I can't believe that you're telling me that jobs are available when over 100,000 jobs have been lost in Jamaica. Now, does that make it even more important for us to engage people like you, Shanique, and your company, Elevate Services, as you, help persons to get on top of the job-seeking list in Jamaica? What do you say about that? Do you
It
really
does.
need people like you? Or, I mean, for me, me thinks I don't need you, forget our work. Like we can just, we can just deal with it myself. Talk to me.
Well, contrary to popular belief, I think you do need me. And I think a lot of job seekers do need someone like me and Charmonique because, personally speaking, my background is in recruitment. So I'm a professional recruiter. That's my background. So I hire and interview people every single day. So I see exactly what these companies are looking for. And yes, there are people who are unemployed, but there are still jobs that are open. It's about writing that resume to show your value. So let's say, for example, you got laid off from your job and you're looking to enter a different industry. You now have to tailor your resume to highlight those transferable skills because you still have value to add. So it's just about communicating that value. And like Charmonique said, my success rate is also very high. And within the past 3 months, I would say business has been amazing because a lot of people have been reaching out because, as we know, people are getting laid off and people don't know what to do anymore. So they're turning to people like me and Charmonique to help them get to that next step.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Listen, Shamanique, or rather Shanique, I heard you talking about, your certification and this is your area of specialization. When I look on a university, me not this one, me not this neither you nor Shamanique. But when I look on, a program at university, I'd never see anything like job hunting specialists and all of those things. Where you get your certification from?
So a recruiter is technically HR. So what I do is a recruiter is someone who works for, it could be within a company or it could be a separate company like a recruitment agency. So essentially what we do is companies give us their open positions and we go out and find the candidates. So we find them from social media, we find them from job boards, we interview them and then we present them to the hiring manager and then they make that final decision. So I think one of the issues in the school system is kids are not made aware of all their career choices. When I was going to school, I had no idea I could be a recruiter. I didn't even know it was part of HR, but it is, and it's a lucrative career. So I think there's a flaw. A lot of people aren't exploring all of their options.
Would you, Shamanique, would you like apprentice? Because I'm a good printer, I can learn fast. I can do photocopies for you and, become competent in the business over time. How can I enter the industry?
Well, I'm okay by myself, right?
He's gonna contact me to negotiate his salary, so be ready.
So
once you get coaching from Shanique, you will get a job from Shamanique.
There you go.
Of course, yes. That's the way how to put it. And I also want to point out, for resumes, I always tell persons, do not, and most of my clients do it, but let me just say again, do not put your full address on your resume. It is not a safe practice. If you live in Kingston, you can put Kingston, Jamaica, St. Catherine, Jamaica. You will find out that your resume can pass literally anyone these days. You want to be safe and you want to be sure. You want to just put the parish and the country. So if it's Canada, you can put Toronto, Canada, Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. Always ensure that you're just leaving it like that. And also, if you're applying for jobs overseas, normally it goes through an ATS system. It's called an application tracking system. Trust me, guys, you don't want that color and that fancy resume. It's best to keep it plain and simple. It will pass the ATS system much easier. And Shani can touch on that because she's a recruiter. So I'm sure she's familiar with that software. A lot of persons, they find out that they're not getting called back because their resumes are rejected the minute it goes through the application tracking system. And that software makes it very easy for recruiters like Shanique to do her job because it basically just filters out the resumes for her. So if it goes through that system and it doesn't see fit, then you have no chance basically. So you have to ensure that you're tailoring your resume properly, get it professionally done. All that fancy thing, it doesn't make any sense. If you're a graphic designer or someone in the creative industry, then of course you want to ensure that you put life on your resume, something colorful, something pop. But if you're traditional and you're in the business world, ensure that your resume stays black and white and it stays simple.
Those are some great tips, Shamanique, that you have shared there, especially the one about the address, especially in terms of being, security conscious. We really, really appreciate that. Just want to remind our listeners that you're tuned in right now to Campus Connection here on Love 101 FM, and we're having a talk about job hunting, all about your interview and resume skills. And you can join us right now in the discussion via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. Or you can call us on our studio lines 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can talk to our own expert, interview preparers and interview coach rather, and also our recruitment expert here, Shanique Richards. Shanique, so Shamanique just mentioned some tips about, in terms of the address on your resume. Do you want to just go through now and just give our campus some tips about do's and don'ts in preparing your resume? I'm sure that would be very helpful.
Absolutely. So I'll start off with the top of the resume, right? The first thing that should be on it, as we know, is your name. As Shamanique mentioned, no full address, just a parish in the country, a phone number that you are going to answer, and a phone number that the voicemail is not full, a professional email address. It should be your first and last name and a number, or something professional, nothing crazy. You also want to make sure that you are customizing your resume to each job you are applying to. Remember, recruiters and hiring managers, they're skimming through the resume really fast. For me personally, as a recruiter, when I get a resume, I do control find and I look for specific keywords on the resume. So recruiters don't have a lot of time to read the whole resume, so you want to make sure that it's skimmable. Avoid long paragraphs. Make sure that you are using bullet points. So you want to avoid that. Some things to also leave off the resume is any kind of personal information, marital status, age, zodiac sign, kids, anything that can be used to discriminate against you in any way should not be on the resume. The things that should be there, however, is a profile, a professional summary. It should convey what your experience is, your education, the school, the program, the year you graduated, and your professional experience, the place you worked, your job title, and what you did and accomplished there. Another thing that people always forget to put on their resume is what they accomplished in each position. So most people just list what they do, right? So if you're a call center associate, you just put answer calls, send emails. But what did you accomplish in that position? How many customers did you help? So you want to make sure you're quantifying your experience and you're putting your accomplishments in each position on the resume.
I like it. I like it.
Absolutely. I like it too. I'm listening, and I am just hoping that there is a recording of this interview. This is an absolutely, you can't afford this interview, people. Call up your friends. We are in the closing moments of this interview, and these are specialists here talking about job hunting. What's trending right now, ladies? What's trending in terms of the jobs that are being offered today? Where can I find lucrative employment? What are the industries that are employing? Who are paying enough money right now? Yeah,
Wow,
all
that's a
those kinds of
question.
things. I would like to find out, where can young people get great employment at this time? Shamanique, what about you?
Okay,
Are you
well,
aware
first,
of what's going on?
I normally, you will find out that a lot of persons are using Caribbean Jobs right now. Caribbean Jobs is not a website that I would highly recommend. Reason being, Caribbean Jobs normally signs a contract with agencies to do job posting, and sometimes you will find out that these job postings or these vacancies within the organizations are expired, and Caribbean Jobs will still have that posting up. So when you send your resume and your application letter to that organization, chances are the vacancy is already closed or someone has already filled that position. And a lot of persons, like I said before, they don't follow up. So they won't call HR to find out, did you just receive my resume or my application letter? So you might be just sitting there thinking, oh, I just applied for a job. Maybe I will get a call because I have the qualifications. No. Ensure that you call, ensure that you speak to someone in human resources, ensure that they received it. Technology can literally fail you at any point in time. But my go to website for jobs is OSC, that's the government agency. That's what I use to browse for jobs. I also go on I Need a Job Jamaica. It's on Facebook and Instagram. They are very legit. And when they find out that they have jobs that are not secure, they will also post that. For international persons, you can use Indeed.com. You can go also on Upwork.com. Those type of stuff, or those type of websites where you'll find most jobs. So yeah, Shanique, you want to highlight some?
Oh, absolutely. So as Sharmini said, she mentioned some of the really good ones. Two that I want to mention is one is LinkedIn. A lot more companies in Jamaica are using LinkedIn now, so you can find a lot of jobs on LinkedIn. And it's also not only for jobs, it's for networking. So I want us to remember that most jobs are not filled through applying. It's filled through word of mouth or somebody who knows somebody or links. Most jobs are filled through links. So you want to go on LinkedIn and you want to network and you also want to look for jobs. Another job board, Sharmini mentioned Caribbean Jobs, which I use sometimes and I think it's okay. Another good one is Talent Box Jamaica. It's an up and coming one similar to Caribbean Jobs, but they have relevant jobs that are open then and there and they communicate with you. So that's another one. So LinkedIn is my number one favorite. Then I'd say Talent Box. And as Sharmini mentioned, there's pages on Instagram and Facebook that post these jobs and they vet them for you so that you know they're open. And there's still the good old newspaper that sends the jobs out, and those jobs are also still relevant.
Yes, yes.
Tell me, Shamanique or Shanique, what kind of industries right now are hiring? For maybe students or persons who are interested. What sectors do you see vacancies available right now?
Well, for me, I normally see marketing and sales, that's and customer service. That's where I see a lot of persons are going towards right now. That's where a lot of companies are hiring for. Sales is very, very big right now, and marketing and customer service. So those are the three industries that I see are being advertised for right now. Also, I just want to point out that LinkedIn, for every young person who is listening, get a LinkedIn profile. It's a space that you can network and literally talk to recruiters face to face. You can connect with them. LinkedIn affords you the opportunity to actually congratulate persons on their work anniversary, have a conversation with them, speak with them. That's how you make connections. That's how you make links, as Shanique was just mentioning, so you can put your best foot forward and get one step further than someone else. So yeah,
Yeah.
sales, marketing, and customer service is where I see most industries right now.
Wondering, Floyd, if Shanique has anything to add to that in terms of what's trending now in terms of job offers.
Sharmanique was
Yeah.
completely right. So those are the three industries that I think are booming right now, because those are industries that they were affected by COVID, but they're making a comeback faster. So sales, as you said, marketing and customer service, those are the jobs that are really, I see a lot of those jobs opening. Those are the industries that are really hiring right now and hiring heavily.
Okay. You guys also mentioned LinkedIn. Any tips for persons who want to start a LinkedIn profile in terms of the pictures they need to put up, the emails they need to put up, some people have some emails that are a little bit too colorful. What are your tips in regards to putting up a LinkedIn page?
Well, I think Shani, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I think Shani just mentioned earlier about the email thing. A lot of persons normally have sexy girl 123 or something that is not professional. You you don't want to do that. That's a red flag. Also, you want to upload a professional headshot. Don't do those little, I don't know what they're called, but sometimes I see some pictures on LinkedIn. I really have to wonder. Remember, guys, you're branding yourself and you're putting yourself out there. So you want to ensure that you have a professional picture up, something that really grabs the attention of persons that maybe wants to view your page. Remember, LinkedIn is really a platform where you find most professional persons. When someone views your profile, LinkedIn gives you a notification that that person view your profile. Imagine if a company that you just applied for, the recruiter just view their profile. What would you want that recruiter to see? So you have to always have in mind these things and ensure that your profile is up to date with the current work that you're doing, up to date with your skill sets. You can also upload your resume on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is really a snapshot of your resume if you really look at it because it highlights your current work experience, your most recent work experience. So that's what it does.
Man, thanks, ladies. So early on, Rev, Shanique gave us the tips to write a winning resume. So now I'm going to ask Shamanique now to give us the tips in terms of preparing for interview and how to really nail that interview. What are some things that candidates need to do in terms of preparation for interview and going into it and nailing it?
All right, so first of all, you want to ensure that you do your company research. A lot of persons fall down in that area. If you have to go on the website and look for the company's mission or their vision statement, ensure that you're looking for that. Research the entire company, research the persons. Again, LinkedIn ties into research because if you know the person who is going to do the interview to you, you can go ahead on LinkedIn and search for that person. It's a high chance that that person is on LinkedIn. So you want to ensure that you're researching also. Ensure that you are wearing the right fit, the professional outfit. You don't want to go into anything too skimpy. Wear light, soft colors like brown or gray or black. You don't want anything too colorful or poppy. But it depends on the industry that you're going into. Because again, if you're a graphic designer or if you're going into an industry like a makeup artist or something, you want to wear something that's bright and show that your industry is coming to life. Ensure that you, when you're applying for jobs and you're preparing yourself for the interview, the vetting stage start from the minute you send an email to the recruiter or to the organization. You will find out that many persons send blank emails. So they will send an email and they don't have their name in the email in the subject line or the job that they're applying for. So even if they do get called for an interview, it will be a big turnoff, I think, for the recruiter because it would then be difficult for me to find your application or your resume. Ensure that you reach on time. Ensure that you know exactly how to articulate yourself in the interview. So you will find out if you go on Google and you type in interview questions, you will see a lot of them come up. Almost the same questions that the interviewer asks you. You can practice these questions the night before or a week before, however long you feel that you need to get ready, and you go into the interview and you can tweak these answers to the position or to the job that you're applying for. Ensure that you're doing follow up. So after the interview, take the recruiter's email, send a follow up the following day. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed the discussion about exposition. You want to do those things so you stand out. Ask if there's a timeline. How soon am I be expected to get an answer for this post? If it's 1 week, you follow up within 1 week. Remember, they are very busy people like Shanique, very busy. So you want to follow up with them and ensure that you are doing what you're supposed to do because it gives you an edge. If I see you send me a thank you email, come on, I am going to be amazed. Like this person is really considering me. That was cool. So you want to do stuff like that.
Well, I feel
Wonderful.
all coached up right now, Rev. I feel ready.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to ask one more. I want to ask one more question to Shanique. Shanique, let me ask you, how is it that we can stay employable? No, for real, even while not being employed, because a lot of times persons have this gap period that goes on for a little longer than they are comfortable with. And so they lose hope, they lose, they become unemployable while they are out of a job. How can you do that?
I think it's just remaining focused and keeping your head in the game because, as we know, not everything is going to be a walk in the park. Your job search could be more than a week. Because some people are job hunting for months and months because they haven't found the right position. So in this downtime that you're at home, that you're not working, do some free courses online. Keep up with the industries that you're interested in. Do things that are going to elevate you to the next step. So you want to make sure that you're doing that, right? Something else that I want people to be mindful of, sometimes people are not applying to jobs because they think that they're quote unquote not qualified. I always tell my clients it's a 80-20 rule. If you match 80% of the job description, still go ahead and send the application. Remember, your transferable skills still matter. So even if you don't match the job description exactly, once you have applicable and transferable skills, you are still in the game. Do not count yourself out.
Ah,
I like it. I
excellent,
like it.
excellent. Listen, I just want 2 quick points here, Floyd. Is that all right? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me
Go ahead.
ask. Yeah, Shani, let me just ask you again, because you did say, some of persons may be employed for a week, maybe a few months. What time would you say if you go beyond this time? That's you're unemployed for too long.
So I don't think that there's any particular time, but generally what I see, right, if someone starts job hunting, generally speaking, within 90 days, they usually land a job. I think that's the average. Again, it depends on each person. You could be unemployed for a year and still get a job on, day number 356. So you just don't count yourself out. But I generally think that about 90 days should be the time where you should start getting interviews and some offers rolling in. If you are following a strategic path, if your resume is updated, your interview skills are good, you're following up, you're negotiating, you should land an offer within 90 days.
Wow. Excellent. Thank you very much for that one. That definitely is a big help to many persons. You're listening to Love 101. This is a family station. We're coming to the closing moments of this great interview about job hunting. And I am so very pleased. I am very thrilled by this interview. This interview is not for the rest of the world. It is for Stevenson Samuels and Floyd Wilson. We're so very happy to be learning all of this stuff. Do you have a last question, Floyd, that you would like to throw at Shamanique?
Yeah, maybe I just want to show this at Shamanique, and maybe Shanique can also chime in. So, so this program is geared towards, campus sites, college students who are leaving college, maybe even some high schoolers who are leaving high schools. So, so these persons are sometimes looking jobs for the very first time. So they are fresh. What would you say are some mistakes, some missteps that you find that, these first time interviewers, these first time job hunters make? Maybe you can answer that, Shamanique, and then Shanique can chime in too.
Right. So you will find out that first time job hunters will make a lot of mistakes. As I mentioned earlier, normally when they're sending out their resumes and their application letter to organizations, they normally send blank emails. When I say blank emails, they will just upload their resume and their application letter and just send it like that. So when you do that, you make it very difficult for the recruiter to actually filter through and find your resume and your application letter, versus if you apply and you put your full name and the job posting that you're applying for. You want to ensure that the body of the email is addressing the person that you're talking to. So, good afternoon, Miss Brown. Please see attached resume and application letter for the post of customer service representative. Best regards. You put your name, you close it. You call HR. Good afternoon. I'm just calling to confirm if you just received. If I do not see your name, because remember, I am going through 1,000,001 applications. So you can't just send a blank email. So that is a mistake that a lot of persons normally make when they're sending out their applications. Shani?
Yes. So a lot of times when people are job hunting right out of school, they don't have a lot of professional work experience, right? So sometimes they'll send a resume that really doesn't have any information on it. But for those of you who are listening who just graduated college or just graduated high school, if you have no work experience, you should be filling in your resume with educational experience. What projects did you work on in school? Elaborate on the projects. What teams were you part of? Volunteer experience. Anything else that could fill in the gaps and still show valuable skills like teamwork, collaboration, you want to add those to the resume. Something else to consider is sending a cover letter, because in the cover letter, you could explain more than you can on the resume. So a lot of times, first-time job seekers, they won't send a cover letter, but I highly recommend sending one with your resume.
Wow. Rev, this has been great. This has been great, Rev. As you said, we couldn't pay for this. Thank you so much, Shanique and Sharmanique, for sharing with us, my recruitment and interview experts here, or interview experts. Thank you guys so much for being with us. I'm sure that our campusites were really, really, informed by what you guys shared with us. We really thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And I think, Shanique, you might get a call from Rev, because I don't think he's going to give up on that, that job position as yet. He wants to be.
I'll help him renegotiate his salary.
Yes, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. Rev, you're muted. You need to.
Come off that argument quickly, Shanique. I am not interested in any negotiations, okay?
Okay.
Listen. We want to say also thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bromfield, who is just writing a lot of notes right now about job hunting. And then to Jonathan Fletcher, who is not interested in anything called job hunting. He loves being technical support. Yeah, we want to say thanks to Ashley Nelson, that is, who shared with us Inside the Bread of Life. And Javon Thomas, thank you, sir, for sharing with us Inside Education News today.
Yes, we want to say a special thank you to our guests who are with us today, Sharmanique Hines and Shanique Richards, who are our guests today as we talked about job hunting. We hope you will be able to secure a job after this week's episode right here on Campus Connection. I'm sure that was shared was very informative and helpful.
Absolutely. So until next week, do remember to stay safe, stay sanitized, and stay inside. Yeah, inside. I'm Stevenson Samuels on the inside.
And Floyd Wilson. Take care.